The bucket. Timeout called by Victoria. And the Manitoba Bisons lead this ball game 30-19. That's the biggest lead we've seen tonight. We'll be back to the Halifax Metro Center in just a moment. You're watching the CIAU Final Four on TSN.
My competitive edge, customer service nationwide through telemarketing.
Glad to be of help.
It's that simple.
Here, Chief.
Customer service? Your filbert flange won't mesh with your grapple grommet. No problem. Lonely. See, a satisfied customer is a repeat customer.
You're welcome.
We make grapple grommets.
23,000 a day.
Awesome.
Telemarketing, today's way to operate.
Well, there you see the story, 30-19, Manitoba over Victoria. The Bisons fully deserving of their lead, and we're going to get into that Victoria huddle right now and find out what Kenny Shields is saying.
Fake the ball. Fake the ball in your passes. Go, boys. Go.
We call Kenny at the end, but it is important to fake. They've got good size in here. Manitoba kind of depends on their quickness. Now, quickness means you got to anticipate. So that means if there's a fake, they should go up in the air, and then they should be fouling a lot. Let's see if we do it. This is the next time down. Let's see whether or not it's going to happen.
A couple of early stats. Manitoba has out-rebounded Vic 11-8. And in turnovers, Manitoba has committed 8. Vic only 7, which is a bit of a surprise, but Vic is obviously not capitalizing. They're not hitting those shots either. 30-19, the lead remains 11. House, oh, misses the easy bucket, and that can be a psychological killer. Taylor just bowled over Kaufman. That kind of thing can really turn it around. When somebody misses what looks like a sure 2 points, it can slow your own team down.
Not with this guy. Garrow's got his hands on it. Right in there. Oh,
well,
my Lord.
Just a great play by Terry Garrow. What a pass.
The pickpockets. They've got 3 of them in there now with Garrow.
That's right.
In with Kaufman and House.
The biggest guy they got on the floor right now is Uggams, and there's about 3 Victoria guys that are at least as big or bigger.
I'll tell you, he does a good job. Just boxed out for Clemens.
Taylor hits from well out that time for Victoria. 32-21, Manitoba leading. Garrow again hits House with the pass. Dishes off. There for the follow-up is Uggams. Well, these guys are smiling, and with good reason right now. Initial shot taken by Hyman. It went nowhere, but Uggams was there for the follow-up. Victoria tries the alley-oop once more to Clemens. He's not even getting off the ground for that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ken Shields yank him in a minute just to get him stirred up.
He might. What Kenny's...
34-21, a 13-point lead for the Manitoba Bisons. We'll be back to the Halifax Metro Center in just a moment. Manitoba Bisons leading the Victoria Vikings 34-21. We've got 3:27 remaining in the first half. And Jack, you got to say it, the Bisons deserve to be 13 points ahead at this stage.
Well, you know, this is the first time we've gotten to see them in this season, and it's their game. I think what Ken Shields is complaining about, he feels that Court Clemens getting bumped on those alley-oops because they are totally ineffective, and they keep going back on it. It looks as if Manitoba kind of pins him in and doesn't let him get, you know, into any kind of position. Whether or not they do it legally, that's up to the referees. And the Shields, who's made up his mind already.
Manitoba Bisons came into this game something of an unknown quantity to a lot of people. I'll tell you what, they're going to be known after this one if they keep it up. They lead it by 13, 34-21 over Victoria, who were favored coming in. They were seeded second in the tournament, Manitoba third. Loose ball. Bisons have it. Kaufman just back out on top of the House. Uggams. The bucket is good, and he'll go to the line. And I'll tell you what, if Victoria doesn't put the brakes on this pretty soon, we can kiss it goodbye at halftime.
Well, here's exactly what Kenny Shields told his guys, pump and fake. And Uggams must have been listening in on that timeout also, because he pumps, fakes, comes up with a potential 3-point play. And Joe Uggams is 80% foul shooter. I bet on it. I would have lost.
foul was called against Graham Taylor. He's had a couple now. 14 points for Uggams on the night. Victoria has got to do something in a hurry. They're going to go into the dressing room at halftime absolutely demoralized if they don't start to get some points. And I'll tell you what, Manitoba is not giving any indication that they're going to let them get back in this game. 38-21, a 17-point spread now in favor of the Bison. What else can you say? This is a blowout.
It is. It's, I'll tell you what Kenny Shields is doing right now. His whole time now has got to be to get the game under a little bit of control, not lose it at halftime. Here he is.
David, go back to the court.
What are we doing now? We're going to lay up man-to-man. They're going to start the force. Now, we're still going to play our game, but what we're not going to do is we score. If we get down,
Running special. Now you got to move the ball. You got to get aggressive. You can't put the damn ball on the floor in the lane. Okay? Fist when we score, man-to-man when we don't score. Let's come back out of the fist into man-to-man. Guys, hey, we're getting our butts kicked on the boards bad. Bad.
Let's go, boys. Let's go after it. Let's get after it. Go for Taylor.
Well, that's the story in a nutshell right there.
Right. We're getting our butts kicked off the boards bad. And the other thing he mentioned is that we've got to get more aggressive. They're going to go man-to-man. They almost have to go man-to-man.
They've got some substitutions in now, too. Don Steele has come in, or Randy Steele, rather.
Right. Randy's played quite a bit. We've seen Randy play quite a bit of basketball.
Also in the game is Wade Laux.
Well, you mentioned that you were concerned about getting Randy Norris. Randy is not helping. Might as well.
Not Norris, Court Clemens.
I'm sorry, Court Clemens. I remember Randy Norris played for another team, didn't
That's
he?
right, that's right. He was pretty effective, as I
You bet
recall.
your life, that's right. All right, they're going to say, come on out, play a little bit. All right, they made him come out. They
well,
wouldn't let them sit back.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half, and Manitoba will stay out there all day if Victoria lets them. I mean, they're leading the ball game by 17 points, 38-21. Foul called underneath. They call it goaltending, I believe. They call the bucket counts. The bucket counts. Yeah, they call goaltending, and the foul will be called against Hyman.
I can't believe that. If they did that, that's a travesty. The guy got hit. Let's see if they did. Did it count it?
No, they didn't count the bucket. I'm sorry.
They took it away, I think.
That's all right. You mean we didn't make a mistake? Okay.
Oh, I know that. Well, I was just going to say they made a mistake if they did that.
38-21, it stays. But going to the line is Steele. He'll get a couple.
Shoo. That one crawled in. But this is what UVIC has got to do. They've got to not foul, slow down. I mean, not slow the game down as much as take a little control, but also they've got to shoot a lot of fouls. They got an awful lot of points to pick up right here, and they should just start on it now because 20 minutes is all they have after that horn goes off at the half.
The Bisons are controlling the boards with their speed, not with their size. They don't have the size to play that kind of game with Victoria. Right now they do because Victoria's big men are all out. And they can do anything even up with them as far as the physical size goes. Let's go into the Manitoba huddle and have a listen to Rick Suffield.
Tony, you play here. Tony, you play the point, and Kaufman play up. Okay. Terry play on the baseline, and let's run the stack in here with Hyman and Joe. Hey, their big man is out of the game. He's not even in the game. Yeah. Okay, we've got a bonus. We've got a guy inside that can score. Let's not force it. We get a foul shot, fine. Let's get it inside. Either shoot a bonus or take a layup. Last minute, we want to run the clock right down. Okay, let's see if we... Right now, if you have a good shot or a layup, fine. Okay? But right now, it's what? There's a minute 43, so we're going for a shot. I'm only talking, I'll tell you when to run the clock now. Okay? We're playing all right now, but we don't want to throw up the ball in 3 or 4 seconds. We want to take a good shot or go to the foul line, okay? If we do go to the foul line and hit 2 shots, I want to pass and press and take some time off the clock. 3, 2, 1, okay? Okay, let's go. Good shot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, defense.
His big thing in there is very good. Be aware of the clock. We're not ready to start milking that clock yet. You know what we call freezing the ball, putting it in the freezer right away. But what we do want to do is be aware of it. They're going to block, put two men down along the baseline. They're going to put John Heineman and Joe Uggams. They're going to try and get that ball into Uggams as long as the big guy is out. See if this works.
Kaufman with the ball for Manitoba. He goes into scrub. Well, the foul goes against scrub, so clock is wound down to 1:35. More than 5,600 people enjoying this basketball doubleheader at the Halifax Metro Center. In the first game, the Waterloo Warriors defeated the St. Francis Xavier X-Men 87-79 to advance to the final. They'll meet the winner of this game for the championship. And as it looks right now, or the way it looks right now, rather, the Victoria Vikings are going to be in maybe a little bit over their heads if this score gets any further out of hand. It's 39-22, a 17-point Manitoba lead.
For the people that tuned in late, the reason that this is not a wild, crazy 5,000 crowd is because of the fact that their favorite lost. St. Francis Xavier lost that first game.
The local boys weren't up to it tonight.
The local fans are at a wake right now rather than a basketball game.
Scrub tries to move it inside for Victoria. Goes to Steele. To Sheehan. Back out on top to Scrub.
There's the man.
Inside to Ohl, and he can't hit, but he'll go to the line.
I'll tell you, he's not going to slow down. One thing you can be sure of is that guy's going to go to the game, go every minute of the game that they leave him out there. Pass. Watch the movement now. You get him to look at him. He works, pumps, tries to get it up there with his other hand. You know, his left hand, and good job.
Garrow committed the foul on the play. One of the three guards that Manitoba has in the game right now.
It's the only thing that can hurt Manitoba down the last 20 minutes. What they're trying to do now is pick up enough points to make sure that they can afford a few mistakes in the second half. However, if they have people in foul trouble, they may have to make substitutions they don't want to make.
You watch the position that the Manitoba players get under the boards. They're beating this Victoria team with just intelligent basketball. They're getting position on them every time. They're not letting the fact that they are outsized in this game bother them. They're just moving in, doing everything they have to do, physical or otherwise, and Victoria has not been able to respond.
There's the holding the ball down. Hold the ball out.
I'll tell you what, Suffield won't be happy with that shot. He said unless you've got a layup or a high percentage shot, don't do it. Kaufman shot from well out that time.
May have run into a clock situation. I think he's going to give Heineman a little bit of a rest in there. Heineman committed that foul, and it's his third. That's, again, the problem that you could run into.
Brian Gray coming into the ball game for Manitoba, number 42. Going to the line for Victoria will be Sheehan. And although, you keep mentioning the fact that Phil Ohl is perpetual motion, and he is, but offensively he has not been much of a factor in this ball game.
Victoria hasn't been in the game.
That's what I was going to say. Next step, I said nobody in Victoria has been much of a factor, really.
And the press that helps them so much, it's over with between House and the help he gets out of Garrow and Kaufman.
Less than 30 seconds remaining in the half. What a great play by Kaufman underneath. Listen to Shields get on the board. You can hear him from here.
That's right. Well, you can't afford to go down there and let them take 3 shots, and the same guy got the ball back 3 times.
And the guy that did it is one of their guards. When he keeps getting his own rebounds, you know that there goes Uggams up one punch. Gets knocked down. Foul is called. He'll go to the line now. 40-23. Victoria leads it, or rather Manitoba leads it. Excuse me. All the people in Winnipeg just had a heart attack.
Oh,
Manitoba leads it 40-23. 3 seconds left in the half.
Manitoba's not going to put anybody on their basket. Not going to take a chance on fouling. What they don't want is any fouling. They'll probably put young Houses coming up here. He'll try and force the ball to get passed in so that they'll put the ball on the floor. The idea is to get the clock started as soon as possible in the backcourt. And he's up, right? He's up on young Scrub, who is probably the ball here. That's it. That's a break in their favor in a way.
Well, I'll tell you, who'd have thunk it? Manitoba going into the dressing room with a 18-point lead over the Victoria Vikings. You could have made a lot of money if you said that was going to happen, Jack.
You could have gotten locked up if you said that earlier.